We begin this afternoon with an update. A 17-year-old boy is the latest homicide victim in Peoria. It marks the city's 14th homicide this year. According to the Peoria County coroner, Davy Brown Bay died after being rushed to the hospital following a shooting last night in Peoria. Police say just before 8 p.m., officers responded to a 4-round shot spotter alert at the intersection of Kansas Street and Wisconsin Avenue. That's next to the Glen Oak Community Learning Center. Police tell us once arriving at the scene, they found Brown Bay with a gunshot wound. He was taken to the hospital where the coroner says he died just before 2:30 this morning. At this time, there is no suspect information. However, police say there is no threat to the community. And also this morning, about 12 hours later, another shooting on the East Bluff sent a man to the hospital with critical injuries. According to Peoria police, it happened on East Illinois Avenue just before 8 a.m. When officers arrived, they found the man with a gunshot wound. There are also no arrest or suspect information at this time. The case remains under investigation. More about both investigations can be found now on our website, ciproud.com. We turn now to the courtroom. Closing arguments are today in the federal perjury trial of Tim Mapes. He served as chief of staff to former Illinois House Speaker Michael Madigan. His defense team called 4 witnesses, including Mapes' wife and a memory expert. They argue Mapes did not lie when he testified before a grand jury. Instead, he simply failed to remember all the important details. Mapes declined to take the stand in his own defense. If convicted, he could face more than 2 decades in prison. And in our continuing coverage, student loan payments are set to restart in October, and the Biden administration has a new plan that could help ease the burden for borrowers. The administration says its new income-driven repayment plan, known as SAVE, is, quote, the most affordable repayment plan for borrowers. Payments will be decided based off a person's current income and family size. The SAVE plan could bring monthly payments down to 0 for some borrowers, while saving about $1,000 per year for others. Borrowers can enroll in the plan by visiting studentaid.gov/save. In other news, CVS is set to cut 300 corporate workers in Illinois. The cuts are part of a larger layoff plan. Across the country, CVS is cutting around 5,000 non-customer facing jobs. Hiring will continue in clinical and tech roles as CVS plans to shift its focus to healthcare delivery and technology. Teamsters announces the approval of a new UPS contract, ending the threat of a possible delivery disruption. The union says 86% of its members voted in favor of the 5-year contract. Teamsters says this was the highest vote for a contract in its history at UPS. The contract gives full and part-time workers pay raises of $2.75 per hour this year and $7.50 more by the end of the 5 years. Teamster says more than 40 supplemental agreements were also ratified. But the union says the National Master Agreement will go into effect once a supplement covering some workers in Florida is renegotiated. Teamsters represents 340,000 UPS workers. And in a developing story, a crane that caught fire shut down the McCluggage Bridge yesterday. The fire stopped traffic in both directions and sparked an all-hands-on-deck approach in response. East Peoria Fire Chief Bobby Zimmerman says the call came in around 4:20 p.m. He says when they arrived, they found out a crane sitting on a barge caught fire. There were no injuries to any firefighters or civilians. Zimmerman says the crane collapsed into the Illinois River and is a total loss. He says construction crews were gone for the day and no one was on the barge or crane. Zimmerman praised the team effort between the Peoria and East Peoria fire departments.
Peoria Fire Departments do a great job, and I think by working together with all of our resources, it was a bad situation that we made better fairly quickly.
Officials estimate up to millions of dollars in damages. In the Twin Cities, changes are coming to cannabis rules in Normal. Monday night, Normal Town Council voted to unanimously change some of the regulations for marijuana shops. Dispensaries will now have to be at least 200 feet away from churches, daycares, and schools. The amended ordinance also adds a 1,500-foot buffer between cannabis operations. Council member Kathleen Lorenz tried to also include a cap of 4 dispensaries in the town. She said she believes the current ordinance is not fully represented by the entire community, pointing to issues like spacing and staffing, but not everyone agreed.
I am not in favor of putting this control on this fiscally. It makes sense for us to have these revenues coming to us and allow us to have a community that can provide what our citizens expect in terms of ordinary fire, police, roads, etc., but also quality of life services like public art.
Council member Kevin McCarthy called this proposal a compromise. And staying in the Twin Cities, students and faculty members at Illinois State University in Normal rallied to begin a serious effort to form a union.
What kind of power? Union power!
A kickoff rally took place on the Quad yesterday. ISU professors, students, and members of the University Professionals of Illinois were there to support the cause. The university employs about 640 tenured or tenured line faculty. In order to officially organize a union, a majority of the faculty must sign authorization cards expressing their desire to join UPI and the Illinois Federation of Teachers. One professor says a common trend he sees on campus is students and teachers not getting what they need. He says a union would solve that.
Uniform across campus, I've heard over and over again that people love ISU and they care so much about it that frustration is there when they don't have what they need for their students, and then the frustration that they hear from students about the resources that they don't have.
UPI represents nearly 3,000 faculty and staff across 7 of the state's 12 public universities. And from our Capitol newsroom, Illinois Secretary of State Alexi Giannoulias is condemning bomb threats targeting some libraries in Illinois. It happened to libraries in Chicagoland area. The Illinois Library Association says the bomb threats were not real and that the staff at those facilities are safe. The threats come as libraries face challenges from people or groups calling on libraries to ban books.
Everyone in our communities, and every individual will find something that they want to read at the library, and there will be things you disagree with, and you just don't read those books. You can choose what you want to read, and you can choose what your children read, and that's where it ends.
Back in June, Governor Pritzker signed a bill to stop public libraries and schools from banning books because people don't approve of its content or for political reasons. If they do, they won't be eligible for state grants. The owner of Nate Dogg's Chili Dogs food truck celebrated 1 year in business earlier this month, and the success so far is more than he imagined. I share his story in this week's Open for Business. Nathan Davis is a welder by trade, and he says he never envisioned becoming a food truck owner, but then the COVID-19 pandemic happened.
I got laid off from a union welding shop after 8 years, and that put a bad taste in my mouth for working for other people. So I thought of this and came up with this, and my community is standing behind me.
Despite some obstacles, Davis opened Nate Dogg's Chili Dogs in August 2022.
I built the trailer myself from a cargo trailer. I did it all. It's all me. Me, my daughter, and her boyfriend have been working, and yeah, it's a family affair.
Davis owns a lot where he sets up his food truck at 400 Derby Street in Pekin, but you can find him popping up at businesses and events all across central Illinois.
It's a flat top hot dog with scratch-made chili and cheese.
At Nate Dogg's, you won't just find your ordinary chili dogs. You can also get one with peanut butter and jelly.
It's just thinking of flavor combinations, the sweet, savory, and salty. I mean, you got all three, and they all go good together if you find the right combination.
And Davis has big goals for his business.
Next steps are to get my building here on this lot to be my commissary kitchen. Hopefully, I can park this food truck down here permanently, so people will know where to come and get the best chili dogs in Pekin. And and then hopefully next year I'll have another food truck.
Davis says he couldn't do this without the Central Illinois community. You can learn more about Nate Dogg's Chili Dogs over on our website, that's CI Proud.